Hey peoples, in this video I want to discuss different diets, okay? Not different diets, but in specific vegan diet, okay? Um, I know that the vegan diet is extremely popular in the West, okay? I know in places like Canada and places like the US and in places like the UK, it's extremely popular, okay? But I have some not so great news about the vegan diet, okay? And so it's not going to be for vegans, okay? This video is not meant for vegans, okay? It's not meant to encourage veganism, okay? It's actually I'm probably, if anything, I'm going to do the opposite, okay? Because I was a vegan for many years, okay, guys, and I'm not a vegan anymore, all right? And I'm probably never going to be a vegan unless there will come a point in time where we will be forced to be, to not eat meat. And even then, I will probably just go fishing or something, okay? Or go hunting, learn how to hunt, like, honestly. Because over the years, I learned, guys, that meat is actually extremely important in your diet, okay? Of course, we all do have our own bodies. We all do have our own metabolism. We have different body types. We have different blood types. We come from different environments, right? And we come from different backgrounds, different regions, right? And so this might potentially impact whether we can be vegan or not, okay? I believe this can impact whether someone can be a vegan or not, right? But with that said, I think that a lot of people cannot be vegans, okay? There might be some that can, right? And I've read about them. I've never personally met someone, a vegan that's been a vegan for a very long time, and they managed to maintain that way of living, okay? I've never met someone like this, actually, okay? So I've met a lot of people that were vegans for a while, and then they, like everyone else, like the majority of the population, they eventually went back to eating meat, okay? And guys, here's the thing, right? So the way that it works is that, if you become a vegan, right, for a short you will probably thrive in the beginning, okay, in the short term. And the reason being is because you're probably now eating a lot more vegetables, a lot more fruits, right? And so your body is thriving because it's getting all these nutrients, right, and vitamins that you probably have never gotten before, right? And so your focus is on that, right? And so that's naturally you will thrive in the beginning, okay? But you also have to remember to think in the long run, right? So a diet, right? It's something that I don't believe in diets anymore, guys, okay? And the reason being is because I tried so many different diets. I tried the paleo diet. I tried, the vegan diet, the ketogenic diet, the Mediterranean diet. I was even a fruitarian at some point, okay? So, and I tried, of course, some of you might say, okay, well, if you're a vegan, then it would have worked out for you, right? Maybe you just didn't do it right. I did do it right, guys, okay? I supplemented, I used the B12 supplements, I used yeast, I used all kinds of different things. The combinations of protein, right? The combining of essential amino acids, right? So like things like rice and beans, right? So I combined rice and beans so I could have a complete protein, right? And so I did things like that too. I included a variety of different things in my diet, right? Different foods, so I could have enough, so I could be healthy, right? But eventually what ended up happening actually is that it didn't do my body good in the long run, okay? I started getting sick, I started having gum problems, okay? My teeth were always constantly bleeding, okay? I think that's a sign of malnutrition also, okay, guys? So, of course, I would say that, being a vegan, it could if you are also, I believe vegans also tend to over exercise. Okay, so if you are over exercising, then this diet will especially not work out for you, I think. Okay, so there's that too. Okay, you're going to have a very hard time maintaining muscles. Okay, and you're just not going to be able to get high quality protein. Okay, guys, and the reason being is because basically protein, right, in vegetables, right, has a very low bioavailability. Okay, and what that means is that their amino acid structure is largely broken down by your digestion process. Okay, whereas the complete amino acid structure found in animal protein mostly stays intact. Okay, and that means basically is that your body can use most of it. Okay, that's one thing, right? Another is that you know, red meat, right, it has a lot of different vitamins, guys. In fact, it is extremely healthy for you, especially if you're getting a high quality protein. Okay, high quality meat, right? Of course, you know, meat that's produced in the West nowadays is just disgusting, and if you're getting your conventional meat, then you're probably better off not eating any at all. Okay, than eating that one. Okay, the one that they're making right now, that they're producing, right, mass producing for the most part, right? Whether it comes from chicken, you know, they're injecting chickens with all kinds of hormones, right? Steroids, so that these chickens can grow, right? Like, so they can have more meat on them, basically, right? And so that's disgusting. Then they're, of course, you know, they're manipulating that food to the maximum, basically, right? So and then we what, we're supposed to eat that every single day, and what, it's supposed to not impact our biology. You know, it's not supposed to impact how our hormones are working, how we're feeling, and things like that. Of course, it's going to negatively impact us in the long run if we're eating all of that every single day, right? It's basically almost like taking drugs every single day, you know? So you are what you eat, basically, right? And yeah, of course. And so, you know, there's a reason why the American meat has been banned from so many different countries, you know? And so, because nobody wants it. It's disgusting. It's not food anymore, okay? And so, yeah, but if you consider, if you take your organic, you know, grass-fed beef, right? That's you know, that's grown in its most natural form, right? Or in a natural environment, right? Where the process is a lot slower, right? And but you know, the cattle, they're getting just grass, you know, they're eating grass, right? And they're allowed to roam about, right, and get sunshine, and they're raised in a pretty humane, like, I guess they're raised in humane conditions, right? Then of course that beef is going to naturally be a lot better for us, okay, and it's going to have all the essential vitamins that we need in order to thrive, okay? You know, it's going to have the iron, it's going to have the zinc, right? And it's going to have the B vitamins, right? Which are very important for energy, okay? It's the main source, beef is the main source of B12 vitamins, okay? And B12 vitamins give us energy, right? So, also, beef has the heme iron, okay, and it's vital for oxygen transport and hormone production, okay. And so, also, beef can boost your testosterone if you're a man or if you're a woman, right? And you know, so I think there's also, because there's this war that's happening in the West, right? Especially, the West is like your testing ground, right? In the West, there's this war that's happening, especially when it comes to men, right? And on men's masculinity, okay? And so, because not only is the war happening on men's masculinity, but it's happening on women too. It's happening on women, and it's happening on men and women, and on families, right? And so they want to split us up. They want us to hate one another. They want males to be as weak as possible. Okay, so of course, one thing that you will do is you will attack the food supply, you will attack the meat, you will attack this one thing that keeps you extremely healthy and fit and in shape, okay, and that boosts your testosterone, right, that keeps you strong, that keeps you masculine, basically, okay, so there's that, right? And so, of course, you have to be careful in terms of what kind of meat you're eating, okay, as a man especially, okay, because you know, rethink veganism also, right? Rethink it, because as a man, you know, one thing that you also need to keep in mind is that vegetables also a lot of fiber. It actually decreases your testosterone. Okay, so in a way it makes you like more feminine, right? Because it changes your hormonal profile. Okay, so you're going to become more passive, like, you know, and I suppose less aggressive too, you know, but is that really a good thing or a bad thing, you know? I think males greatly benefit from higher testosterones, okay? Yeah, they might become a little bit more aggressive, but at the same time, there are so many other benefits for them. Like, for example, it keeps them happier, you know, and healthier, right? And you know, so it's you know, and so like I said, there is a war on men. Okay, so veganism is part of that. Veganism became almost like an ideological, like a political statement. It's like a not only just a political statement, but it's you know, if you're not, it became almost like a cult. You know, it became like a cult, right? And if you're not in that cult, right, vegans tend to be extremely aggressive, I noticed, right? And I've been to their forums and I've read the things that they're saying, right? And they're actually, like, in a way, they're so brainwashed and so convinced, you know, of that specific diet that anyone who doesn't agree with it, they just kind of attack, you know? And so I find a really big problem with that, because at the end of the day, you know, you guys, we're just here to, like, we're here to live, we're here to try new things, we're here to experiment, right? And when it comes to diet, like your diet, we should be experimenting. We should be seeing what works for us and what doesn't, you know? And so if veganism doesn't work for someone, right, and it works for you, then don't attack that person. Like, they, you know, they have their own body, right? They have their own, you know, factors that need to be considered too, you know? So just because it's right for you doesn't mean that it's wrong, right for another person, right? So you have to keep that in mind, you know? And so I find that the vegan community tends to be extremely closed-minded when it comes to other people and accepting other people's different biology, okay, basically, or physiology, right? Physiological profile, right? And so there's that, right? And also, like I said, right, a lot of vegans also are hypocrites, okay? So they can basically, a lot of them, like, have been known to, you know, say that they're vegan, right, and promote that lifestyle while behind closed doors they're eating meat. They, like, a lot of them have been caught, like, eating fish in restaurants, or like just they've been caught eating meat, basically, okay, behind closed doors. Some even wrote, like, oh, you know, I invested so much of my time and so much of my energy promoting this vegan lifestyle, but it wasn't, you know, I realized that it wasn't for me, and so I just, you know, I had to maintain that image while, you know, just eating meat behind closed doors. And that's just so wrong. I think it's just so bad, but people do this all the time, you know, when it comes to a lot of things, actually, okay? So it's like, you don't want to admit that you're wrong, right? And if you do admit that you're wrong, you're going to lose out on a lot of, like, sponsorships, right? You're going to lose out on a lot of money, basically. When it comes down to it, they are selling their souls, you know? When it comes to spirituality, like, that's how a lot of us sell our soul, okay? We side with, we don't want to maintain those morals and values. We don't want to stand up for the truth, right? And so we end up selling out because we're getting paid for something, right? And so this is one of those instances, you know, where you're giving up your morals and values, and you're selling your soul, you know, and that's just one example, okay? So yeah, anyway, so when it comes to veganism, right, guys, I think that When it comes to veganism, I do not agree with it. I do not think that it's good in the long run. In the short run, it can work, okay, but in the long run, you are going to, I think, have, depending on your body, you are going to, if you're like the majority of people, then you need to include some meat in your diet, okay, and there's that, right, and yeah, because like I said, also I wanted to mention, right, if you are like a bodybuilder or if you're always working out, right, I think a vegan diet is going to be counterproductive to your goals, okay, when it comes to muscle gain. I had a really, really hard time gaining muscles on the vegan diet. Okay, guys, in fact, my body, what ended up happening is it went into starvation mode, basically, okay? I wasn't getting enough vitamins, I wasn't getting enough high quality protein, right? And my body, basically what ended up happening is that I ended up losing a lot of muscle, and because of that, I ended up gaining extra fat that I couldn't shake off, couldn't lose, okay? So I was stuck with like, fat in certain places that I just, no matter what I did, I just couldn't get rid of it, okay? So yeah, you will struggle with stubborn body fat if you're on a vegan diet in the long run, okay? Not in the short term. Maybe in the short term you might even lose weight, but also I will tell you this, okay? This weight that you're losing, it might just come from your muscle, okay? So if you're just using the scale to to base whether you lost fat or not, then don't. The scale is not a good indicator, okay? It's not a good tool at all, okay? Because it doesn't measure your muscle, okay? Muscle gain. It doesn't measure, it doesn't even consider like the water weight, right, and so on. So you could be losing just water weight, you could be losing muscle, right, not necessarily fat, okay? And so there's that, okay? And so that's what I believe actually ends up happening with a lot of people. They end up just losing muscle and water and maybe some water, right? And then they think that it's fat, And so there's that, right? But actually, you don't want to lose muscle because, you need muscle in order to get to keep that higher metabolism, okay? And yeah, basically, I don't recommend the vegan diet, okay? It's I think in the long run it is bad for your health. And that's the reason why, Klaus Schwab, right? They want us to own nothing and eat bugs, and eat the bugs, right? And that's what they want us to, they want us to be unhealthy, they want us to be unhappy, right? They want us to own nothing, right? And they want us to be placed in like extremely small spaces with like lots of people, right? Where we have no privacy, right? And so that's, let's not give them what they want, okay? Let's experiment, okay? Let's see, let's try things out, guys. Always try things out, see if it works for you, okay? Of course, I'm not saying to put yourself into dangerous situations, right? But I think as far as your diet goes, I think you will be able to tell what is working for you and what is not by how you're feeling, right? If you're always tired all the time, I was really tired all the time on the vegan diet, okay? I always wanted to sleep. I was really lacking in energy, right? And I had blue circles under my eyes, okay? And basically, you could see like my nails weren't growing, you could see that my health began to suffer, my hair was really bad. It started just breaking it off, right? And just wasn't growing at all. And so yeah, you will be able to see by the way that you're feeling, okay, by your energy levels, by even your eyes. Like your eyes will, if you're eating a very healthy diet, your eyes will also shine, your skin will shine. It will be very obvious in your physical appearance too, okay? So of course, this will happen. These body clues, these physical manifestations, they will happen in the long run. Okay, they're not going to be very obvious in the short term. Okay, but they will happen in the long run. Okay, and so for any diet, if you want to try any diet, then you're going to notice whether it's good for you or bad for you only after a while. Okay, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe two. You know, so there's that, right? So. Experimenting is good, but at the same time, you know, your health might end up suffering, so be careful. You know, experiment at your own risk. Okay, I'm not gonna recommend, I'm never going to tell you to do that. Okay, it was good for me, but I think as human beings we probably need to do that sometimes. We need to have that experience in order to learn, right? And so yeah, but I don't recommend it. Okay, do it at your own risk. Okay, so yeah, there's that, guys. So be careful. Okay, there's a lot of hypocrisy going on in the vegan community. Okay, it's not. I don't believe that it's sustainable in the long run. Okay. Also, at the same time, I do believe in having this balance. Okay, when it comes to meat. Okay. So right now I eat meat, but I don't eat too much of it. I eat just enough. I eat, I don't know which doctor recommended this. I forgot his name, okay? But he said use meat as a supplement, okay? And that's exactly what I'm doing and what I've been doing, and it's working for me. I don't eat too much of anything really, guys, okay? I no longer eat too many vegetables. I don't eat too many fruits. I eat a balanced diet. I try to eat a little bit of everything, you know? So a little bit of like nuts, a little bit of seeds, a little bit of whole grains, a little bit of dairy, right? Like high quality dairy, a little bit of vegetables, a little bit of fruits, and just a little bit of everything, right? And that is working for me amazingly, I would say. Okay, so I think it's all about balance, you know, and that includes your food too, okay, and what you're eating. And if you're lacking in that balance, then your body's going to let you know. It's going to tell you, okay? When I was a vegan also, guys, I had terrible cravings. Every time I would look at meat or smell it, I would just like start salivating, okay, guys? And that was probably one of the signs that I really needed that meat, you know? But of course, when you become a vegan, you kind of start deluding yourself. You start creating all these stupid narratives in your head that, oh, you know, it's just like, you know, it's just like drug withdrawals, right? Like you, at first, when you know, like if you stop eating sugar, right, you're going to have cravings, right? So that's what I was telling myself, like, oh, they're just cravings, like, you know, I don't really need to eat meat, you know. But those cravings really kind of, the only reason why they went away after a while is because I actually convinced myself that meat was disgusting and it was bad for me and I shouldn't be eating it. Okay, and so you know, I think our own thoughts, right, our mind can convince us of anything if we want to, okay? It can even convince us of a virus that's not there, okay, guys, and of getting sick, physically ill, okay? There was an experiment done, right? A guy went into, I think, like a small town, right? And he told everyone that there was a virus and that they were going to have these types of symptoms, right? So he told them the symptoms, and suddenly everyone in that town started getting sick and even feeling ill, like even like throwing up, and like all these physical manifestations were just like very obvious, right? And when in fact there was no virus and nobody was sick, and this guy just kind of he was running an experiment, okay, to see how people would react and how they would act. Okay, so like I said, our mind can convince us of anything, okay, and then the physical manifestations will manifest themselves, okay? So be careful, okay? If you're, yeah, I guess I'm done. I don't know. Oh yeah, also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, okay? Please subscribe to my channel if you're called to. And also, please feel free to check out my health and fitness course, okay, guys? In it, I give you so many amazing tips that you can use in order to lose weight and in order to keep that weight loss, okay, for good. My video course is for people that really want to sustain their weight loss, okay? And it's for people that are looking for this balance in their life, okay? It's for people that want to learn how to eat well. It's for people who want to learn how to exercise for their specific exercise properly for their specific body type, okay? And so in it you will learn a lot of amazing things, okay? And I think you will really enjoy the course, okay? So please feel free to check it out. It's in my description, okay? And thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, okay?